My name is George Peters, and I'm chair of the Department of Theater at Michigan State University. The faculty actually decided last year to tie each of the 6 main stage shows to a department or a unit on campus. We decided to devote this season, 2008-2009, just to that, and to draw in professors and students from those departments early in the process, so that by the time the show opened, there'd be some dynamics, some interest in the shows and in other places on campus.
My name is Sam O'Neill, and I'm a third-year MFA student in acting in the theater department. As part of the MFA program, all of the graduate students have to have a performance role, a thesis role. And one of the reasons they chose this play was because in the play there is the character of the mother. This was really a great role and a great opportunity for me. And Well is the story of Lisa Kron and her mother Anne, who is the character that I played. And they are from Lansing, the West Side neighborhood. So there was a real strong connection between the city and this play. One of the best parts of that experience was having Lisa Kron come to Michigan State. It was really great. It's always great to have an opportunity to meet a playwright because, like I said, you're always dealing with just words on a page, and then to get into their head helps you sort of get into that mindset, and also about how it's going to affect your interpretation.
In our cabaret production, working with people from the German department, we started hitting on the idea of German Expressionism, and we can certainly research that, but we can also go to experts who can give us more knowledgeable information on that, right? So looking at some of the artwork that they knew from German Expressionism, you can see it influenced in our costume and set designs. What we started to do was create a false proscenium for a show within a show, and that became abstracted and refracted through looking at this German Expressionist art that they were showing us, the German Expressionist movies that we would not have had access to. So you can see it in the costume design and see it in the design of the proscenium on the stage. It's very heavily influenced by that.
I'm Justin A. Miller. I'm a third-year graduate student in scene design, and I was the set designer for Love's Labor's Lost.
I'm Christina Miller. I'm a second-year graduate student, costume design MFA, and I was the costume designer for Love's Labor's Lost.
We took this show as an experiment because we'd never done a green show before. I personally had never done a green show before, and we didn't have any ideas or supplies or anything like that, so we were just going to try everything that we could think of, do a lot of research, see what worked, and then try to do it again maybe later. But as strange as it sounds, it's kind of new for the theater. At the time there wasn't a lot of people doing it, and the people that were doing it weren't talking about it much. So I didn't find a whole lot. I talked to Terry Link at the Office of Sustainability, and he was just an amazing wealth of information. So we had a meeting, a really great meeting, and kind of educated each other. I talked about the sort of things that we needed for theater, and he would tell me some things that he thought might work. So I used that as a really big jumping off point. So it was actually a really good opportunity the way things turned out.
I think as a designer it was exciting because it was more challenging, and I think, it's something that most of us have been taught ever since first grade, turn off the lights and recycling is good and save the environment, but this is sort of a way to bring that further.
We did a lot of green screening for Tommy, and that's a great skill that students have never really understood or worked with before. And that's both the actors and the designers creating the false backgrounds for them. So those were really interesting and unique ways that we would never have had without this connection.
How are you collaborating with the projections?
It's been tricky. I haven't always known like what's live action and what's projected. And so one of the things that we've been doing is like, as we've been developing the characters and their costumes and then going into green screening, for the reporter in particular, she has 3 separate looks, and we've been like very careful to make sure that the clothing that she's going to wear in the green screen is going to be the same that you see on stage. And I'm trying to do that like with all of the characters, just to make sure that there's a cohesion between what you're going to see filmed, and you'll understand that that's the same person that's acting on stage.
The video gaming design people were working with an undergraduate choreographer to create the movement for those video sequences, so that she would either video herself doing the choreography, they would watch rehearsal, or she would send a really detailed at measure 47 at this count in the music, so that they work together, these people creating video games usually in a dark room, and this choreographer working together in a whole new way, right? So that the human body became the avatar for these really interesting sequences. So all of a sudden, people were learning all new ways of working. So that to me was kind of priceless in terms of what the education was. I think that we have a responsibility here on this campus with 45,000 students, with so many departments, with so much knowledge, with so many people eager and willing to learn, to change the face of what academic theater is. Sometimes going outside of the library can be a much healthier and much richer experience for everyone. Talking to and collaborating with live people as opposed to a book can really make a richer, deeper experience for all involved.